So the epic journey starts in Batumi with a cheeky 60-hour crossing over the Black Sea to hopefully arrive in Burgas, Bulgaria. Once we arrived in Burgas, it was a 36-hour drive covering Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Italy, France, Spain, and finally, good old Portugal. You were wondering where we bought land. It's the world's worst kept secret, I think. I think we probably told a few people because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. It's Portugal, and it was only ever going to be Portugal. Although we did look at a couple other countries, but I'll explain a bit more later, or we can explain. Maybe Gibbo might join me for why we chose Portugal above other countries. Obviously how we got here and the epic it was to get here, because this time last week, 8 days ago, we were still in Georgia, so that was, that seems like a lifetime ago. Anyway, so what we're doing now is we're just driving to the estate agents. We've got to meet him. I don't know whether it's to do documents and whatnot, and then he's going to then take us to hopefully what is going to be our land really soon. We're going to go there, we're going to meet the owner, I think, have a look round, and then all being well, we'll then crack on. And obviously we'll take you through the process of what we have to do to buy land/property in Portugal. But this is the exciting bit, because it's a bit like, so for those of you who don't know, me and Gibbo met online. I was working out in Iraq, Gibbo was obviously in the UK doing her thing. We met on a dating website, don't judge. And then we must have chatted for about 10 weeks before I was even due back in the UK. I got back to the UK, and obviously we struck up a really great friendship, like, what's the word I'm looking for, Gibbo? Rapport. Before we met. The worry was that obviously what happens if that didn't transfer into when we actually met. It's a little bit like this for this. We've seen the land on pictures and a bit of video, but what happens if we get there and it's like it's gash, and we're like, we don't like each other and we're not going to have it. But anyway, I'm a bit nervous, excited. Let's go to meet the estate agent and see what the bobby is. Good. Right, meet and greet with the estate agent. It was only a 2-minute chat. I think he just wanted to get eyes on with me. And then we are now following him, so follow that Audi, and he's going to take us to the land, and we'll have a little walk round. Disclaimer, we're not going to show you around just yet, in case one, it's rubbish and we're like, no, we're not buying this, or two, well, we're not going to show you around yet. If we buy it, and then when we move in, that's when we'll show you around. Is that cool? Yeah. But still keep watching the video though, because there's other cool shit will go down, I'm sure. But
life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights.
I thought I'd give you a quick update on what actually went down. So, long story short, you would have seen our excitement on going to see the land, and it turned out there wasn't, I don't want to say not much to get excited about, it just didn't turn out the way we wanted. So basically, we had a little walk around, me, Gibbo, the estate agent and the owner, and we were walking around, we were kind of like, yeah, it's nice, but we didn't get that warm fuzzy feeling in our stomachs, you know, when you go, hello Hoochie, oh, we'll talk about this in a bit, gorgeous boy. We didn't get that warm fuzzy feeling, so we were walking around and we were like, yeah, we can see the potential and we can see this. But as you know, when you walk around a property or a car, and you're like, oh, when can I have it? When can I move in? And we just never got that. So we were like, all right, yeah. And there was other little things as well, which massively put us off. So if you've ever heard of sand fleas, whatever they're called, basically we didn't tell the owner that we had dogs, because we left Cookie and Hooch in the van, and we went into like her little home, and she had a little dog, and she was like, oh, don't mind the dog, he's just got sand fleas at the moment, and he's got scabs on his arms, and he's on medication, but I don't tend to let him out too much now because of the sand fleas. And to us, we were like, well, that's the whole reason we wanted to have, one of the reasons we wanted to have this land was that Cookie and Hoochie can go running around and you know, it's a massive garden for him and that. So we didn't really fancy that either. We were like, we don't fancy a dose of sand fleas. The septic tank needed fixing basically immediately. And again, we didn't want to pay money for a plot of land and that. And one of the first jobs was to essentially clean someone's shit up. I know, crazy. Anyway, I said long story short, and I'm blabbering on. We went for a second viewing, and we just decided, you know, it wasn't for us. I think where we're a little bit gutted is because we drove from like almost the most eastern point in Europe to the most western point in Europe. You know, we took like a 60-hour ferry. We drove over like 3,000 k or miles, whatever it was. It's still a bit of a blur now. And it was an epic to get here, and then to kind of, we had all our hopes kind of, you know, so more the lesson learned there. Maybe not get so excited about something you see online, unless obviously it's your future wife. Anyway, what else? Moving forward, yeah, we've been a little bit gutted for a couple of days. However, we are now going to decide what's the best thing to do. We're going to actually go look at a couple more plots of land this week, get a bit more of a feel for it. It might still be what we want, or it might be actually, because obviously in the van life community, in the van life world, a bit of a natural progression is to go from van life into off-grid living. And I think maybe we're just, now we're here and we've got like a front row seat to it, we're like, is that really what we want? And I'm not sure it is. So we're just gonna kind of go see some more land. Obviously, we're gonna enjoy Portugal. The sun is shining. We're in a place called Ericeira, which, if you know what that is, it's a massive surf town, so I'm happy. And it's just a really nice place anyway. The vibe is amazing here. So we're just gonna kind of enjoy it and kind of just see what happens, essentially. Not put any pressure on ourselves to make a decision on this or this, just kind of, you know what, see what feels good and go for it. Someone who's not feeling very good right now would be my main man, Hooch. He's got a cyst on his tail. We had to go to a vet's, and they were like, he's feeling sorry for himself. And they were like, it's a cyst. If we don't remedy this, we're going to have to chop it off. And I was like, what, chop the tail off? And then I thought, that's a ridiculous thing to say, Russ. And then they were like, no, we might have to chop the tail off. I don't know why they can't take the cyst off. Anyway, we've got 2 weeks essentially to fix his cyst. So he's got lots of cream. He's got to wear his cone. And if not, they reckon they'll have to chop the tail. And obviously the risk with that is, one, it won't be very nice for Hoochie. And two, because he's got a bit of a dicky heart, he's a bit more of a high risk. So we've got to fix his tail. But he's not terribly happy about it. Although we don't embarrass him. When we go for walks, we do take the cone off. So yeah, good parents and all. But essentially, it was just a real quick update. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm quick enough. That's not an innuendo for anything, actually. Anyway, normal vlogging to resume tomorrow. We've just been a bit all over the place the last couple of weeks, driving, ferrying it, looking at, yeah, you get it. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, please. If you'd like to subscribe and see what's next for the McDonough clan, please feel free to subscribe. Sharing is caring, and if you want to leave a comment, please do. Anything, really. Go for it. The floor is open. But until next week, laters.